Welcome back, everybody. So, previously I have demonstrated to you how you can fight against HTTPS and how you can create redirects for standard HTTP based websites without the encryption. But the important part is that you know how to bypass, in a way, the HTTPS. Now, lately, people have come up with rather innovative ways to enforce HTTPS, to enforce the encryption. And then came something called HSTS, which basically made this sort of an attack obsolete so long as the web server on the other end had certain configuration set. And now I have configured my web server for HSTS. And this website, www.erminkrepunch.com, this can no longer be accessed via HTTP at all. So here, just to prove it, I'm going to remove the S and I'm going to deliberately request an unencrypted version of the site from a real connection without any proxies or anything in between. I'm just going to go ahead and request a HTTP version of the site. And let me just go ahead and paste this in here and press enter. And you see, it's not going to allow me at all. I'm not going to be able to visit the unencrypted version at all. Now you might think to yourselves, well, why? Why is this a problem? The victim machine is never going to go this far. Well, it doesn't matter if the victim machine has already visited this site and if the browser has been given the expiration time for HSTS. Until that time expires or until it is renewed via some method, it will always request encryption for that domain. It will not be able to access that domain without the encryption. So as you can see on Kali, we have DNS Chef running, the hotspot is active, the web server is active, and my victim machine is actually still connected to the honeypot that we have created. And if I just open up Firefox, and if I go ahead and type in as before, it's gonna start spinning, and it's not gonna get me to where I want to be. It's gonna want HTTPS. I'm not gonna have anything on my fake web server to basically on my malicious web. Well, not malicious, but on my own web server to. I don't have any HTTPS configuration. I have nothing to serve it, and therefore I am going to get redirected here. This is the case, for example, with Google and PayPal and Facebook and all of these sites. They've implemented this wonderful mechanism whereby they mediate and prevent this sort of attacks. Now, if you want to battle against this, you need to have. There are two things you can do. You can mess around with the network time protocol and mess around with the updates for the requested updates for whether the site should still continue to be accessed via HTTPS or not, because there is an expiry date for this thing. And or you could basically just create your own certificate and then offer it to a person to actually sign the certificate. Most people do. Some don't, but most people click yes. Why? I really don't know, but most people just click yes, sign the certificate, and once they've signed the certificate, you can effectively decrypt all the traffic. Now, let me just go ahead and show you something. My terminal here, this is my web server configuration. If I just clear the screen and I type in cat000default.conf, this is for port 80. So there is no longer, all connections coming in on port 80 will be redirected to the port 443, which is HTTPS. So no more connections on port 80, no more accessing the site via port 80. And if I go ahead and type in default ssl.conf, I have the header always set strict transport security, so nothing else works. It gives the max age, and this age is passed to the browser, and then the browser will access this domain only via HTTPS for the duration of this period of time. Okay, so in the follow-up tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can fight this. Until then, I bid you farewell.